Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today, Larry Woods, a Democratic strategist, and Debra Maggart, Republican strategist. We're talking about the 2020 presidential election and also Super Tuesday coming up this coming Tuesday. Larry, the Democrats have had double-digit debates with their candidates. They still have 7 on stage. It kind of got to be a verbal food fight up there.
Right.
Are debates kind of overrated? I know everybody that grew up and remembers Kennedy Nixon. That's the sainted way to do an election. But what does it really bring to the process other than seeing a food fight like that?
It brings name recognition and visual ties. I mean, look at Pete Buttigieg. Before the first debate, his name recognition was, I don't know, 3, 4, 5%. It was negligible. And so just being on the stage with people like Biden helps candidates that are struggling to get a start. And I think that's good. But I agree with you. Having a debate with more than 3 people, more than 2 really, is pointless. They ought to reshape the rules for the debates entirely, but that's a subject for an entire different day.
Debra, the last 2 national election cycles have shown sort of a weak status of the national parties. In 2016, the Republicans had the crowded field, and out of that Donald Trump emerged, and he's more or less taken over the party since then. But when he was nominated, he didn't have much of a background of being a Republican. Now the Democrats may be on the verge of nominating somebody, the word you mentioned earlier, a Democratic socialist who's not connected to the Democratic Party. Does that show that the party has very little impact anymore in who the nominee is going to be?
So if you think about it, under our rules, technically, when we allowed Trump to be our nominee, technically under our rules, I don't think he was really qualified under our rules we had in place. Same thing, Bernie's not even a member of the Democrat Party, yet he's on your ballot. So this is interesting that we have these rules in place and then we move them all around depending on what's going on.
The solution in Tennessee for that is State Representative Jason Powell's bill to move our primary for both Republicans and Democrats up to the first week of January. Then Tennessee gets a leading voice in whether it's going to be a Democrat or a Republican or a Democratic Socialist or a Bloomberg or whoever.
I think the parties may be looking at doing that, particularly the Democrats after what happened in Iowa, but isn't still Tennessee being first in the nation on that sort of a pipe dream? I mean, both Iowa and New Hampshire have laws that automatically move up their primaries in front of anybody else that tries to get in front of them.
Therefore, we could be third. And that would put us again in a very positive position.
And by ourselves.
Right.
But what's to keep California, New York, or any other state from doing it? I mean, we may start doing this process now sometime in the middle of the year before the actual presidential election.
That's what got us Super Tuesday. A lot of states started moving up. They just didn't move up far enough, including Tennessee.
Well, what about regional Super Tuesdays all over the country to get this done and maybe in the first quarter of the year and get it over with so it doesn't go, because this will still go on. Well, and Larry, to get back to the fact that you don't think that Democrats are going to come in with a nominee in on the first ballot, how does that get worked out if it's brokered? Last time there were super delegates out there.
Sanders lobbied for this, now he's the one that's going to get hurt by it. Our superdelegates now in the Democrat Party don't get to vote on the first round of the Democrat Convention. If it goes to a second round of balloting, they do. I would assume the superdelegates are pretty heavily for Biden.
Debra, we're in a situation where I've seen some polling because there's been so much angst in the Democratic Party about who they're going to nominate that the public poll that showed that 65% of the people they surveyed thought that President Trump was going to get reelected. Now, those numbers may be subject to change because of the regular things that are going on, also perhaps because of the virus. But are you concerned that the president may be thinking he's in pretty good shape when he really isn't? Is this going to come down to, just as it was last time, how he does in those battleground states where he ran the table in 2016?
I'm going to go back to the socialism business. I just don't believe the American people are going to elect a socialist. So I believe that Trump will definitely beat Bernie. Now, Bloomberg, I don't know, because we haven't seen how he's going to perform yet. We're getting ready to, because he's got so much money. You know, he's got more money than everyone, so
he's going to be a real test whether money alone can win.
I know that the president is taking this very seriously. I mean, think about it. Every time there's been a debate, he goes to whatever town the debate is in and has the biggest rally ever, while the Democrats are trying to cobble together some people, right? So
Larry, you
he's
do
very serious.
in the early votes so far here in Tennessee, there are actually more Democrats voting than Republicans. That hasn't happened in this state in any kind of
Been a
statewide
long
contest.
time, but of course there's no competition for Trump. So, yeah, but there's a lot of enthusiasm by Democrats in Tennessee because we've got several very good candidates. Trump's going to carry Tennessee. There's
no matter
no
who.
way around that.
In fact, Trump will probably get more votes than any Democratic candidate that wins here in Tennessee.
Probably, yes.
Larry
Yes.
Woods, thank you very much for being with us. Debra, thank you as well. It's going to be fun to see what happens on Tuesday and going forward. I'm sure we'll have you back to talk about it again as the campaign continues to develop. And thank you for joining us this week on Inside Politics. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. There's new commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time. Goodbye.